Decepticons! This is your world now!
I'm Breakdown. I'll obey too.
I'm Wildrider, and I want to bust something up!
Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the Fast Pioneer Deformed Automan, the BW-001 002. Now, this is an upscaled KO version of the Magic Square, and we're going to talk about these figures. I did get them at Show Z, and you can get yours there too, and they're like 36 bucks, so it's about 65 to 70% of the price of Magic Square. And we're going to talk about these guys. Are they good, they bad? Coming up. Alright, so here it is in the package. Fast Pioneer, Deformed Automan, BW-001 and 002. I don't know if this company's going to do more of this, or I don't know. For some reason, I feel like, is this not McFan's Toys? I mean, it's kind of strange that they've got a whole new name for it, but some picture of space. Lost in space. Anyway, there's the packaging. It's cheap, gets the job done. Alright, so here they are out of the package, and what I want to say is that they look okay, and we're going to see that they get a bit of a pass in a way. But overall, they look pretty good. I don't know how many people are going to actually display them in this mode. I think everyone, or 90% of people, are going to display them in combined mode, so that's kind of what they're there for the back of the leg for a combined mode. So let's take a look at this one, Wildrider here. And he does have some paint on him. His head is painted, his face is painted, his eyes are painted, and it's kind of a little bit of a reflective kind of red paint there. It looks different than what's going on his arms. So that is paint on his arms. Looking at his chest, he's got some blue accents in there, and so that's kind of interesting the way that they did that paint in there. The inside of the arms, it's the standard gray plastic over most of them, or the charcoal kind look, and then you have some red paint accents right here, so that kind of works out really well, and it looks okay, and it looks like the character pretty much. Then getting down here, you do have that same red paint down here, kind of carries over. This is going to be for the alt mode. The back looks kind of plain and simple. Now, one thing is that to make the transformation a little more simple, we've got these big chunks right here. It is what it is. He would look better if that didn't exist, but it's there. It's kind of one of those Legends passes. So would we upscale this to Masterpiece? No, because that wouldn't fly on Masterpiece. You wouldn't be able to do that on a Masterpiece, and people just be, oh, that's all right. So that's kind of one of the differences between Legends and Masterpiece. So this is pretty much an upscaled 1-to-1 of Magic Square. So I don't think they changed anything. I don't think they fixed anything. A lot of times when stuff gets knocked off these days, they do something extra. I don't think they're doing anything extra. They're trying to give you a cheaper, slightly larger alternative, and that's just kind of the way that is. So I have some really tight shoulder joints on these things. So let's go ahead and with this guy, since, I mean, obviously all the same stuff is pretty similar. You got some paint. It seems like less paint on this guy than we got on the other one. Let's go ahead and do some articulation with this. So you can do the head side to side and no up and down on that. The shoulders are really tight, but you kind of get a good range with them, more or less. You can go all the way around with it. You got a bicep swivel on the elbow. So I guess it's elbow swivel and elbow 90. And the formed hands, and I'm starting to see a lot of parts that are reused between these two. Just like, well, there's a lot of parts. I think that the shoulder is exactly the same. The hardware within there is exactly the same. The hands are exactly the same. They're all just painted different. So there are a lot of reused parts in here to keep the price down. I mean, that's just the way it is. Although Magic Square's price wasn't kept down. That's a pretty expensive figure. Okay, so he does have the waist swivel, and you got to more or less 90 front and back, which is actually really good. I've seen some figures that don't have quite that range. You got the thigh swivel. You got 90 on that. And then you just got a little bit of foot action there. I don't know, yeah, I guess you can go forward and back. And you can take this piece off. If you just don't like that piece, it comes off now. Anyway, there it is. Now, I do feel like his hips are loose. His are not. His are loose, like real loose. But I mean, that's not going to affect my combined mode, so I don't really care, but some people might care. You can easily fix that with your polish. That's my on-the-spot fix there. But there is the articulation. Now, here's the guns. Both of the guns, they look okay. Kind of exactly what you'd expect for their guns to look like. And that's it. Nothing special, no paint. A little bit of shininess on this one. Not so much on that one. It's more of a matte color, but there we go. All right, comparison time. There they are next to a G1. So Legends is a lot of times around the same size as some of these smaller G1 bots, and in this case, bigger than the comparison. So looking at them side by side, these look so much better than G1, which of course, that's why we're into them, right? We're seeing better representations, more screen accurate, more like what we would have liked to have seen back in the day. This guy takes 12 seconds to transform. These guys take a couple minutes, but yeah, there's a difference. Here they go next to some car bots, and some people try to say that even this guy's too big. So these guys are, since they are oversized, they're quite big. There's a pretty good size, but I think they were already a good size already from Magic Square, so they're just that much a little bit bigger. This is McFan's Toys. That is, I believe, Toy World. So kind of getting a couple of comparisons in there. If you have these in your collection, then you kind of have an idea how big these will be. Now they are next to Magic Square's Prime and Megs. They're still slightly shorter. I kind of like them a little bit bigger. Maybe I see why these are too big for the scale for this mode. But again, I'm not going to keep them in this mode, and they're going to look so much better in combined mode. We hope. So getting into transformation on these, it's going to take this off and hope we find a place for that in the alt mode. But let's go ahead and start with the arms. We're going to move this to the back and fold the head down. How come this isn't folding out as much as it should? Okay. Now we need to basically fold this joint up and put that into place, and then the arms, collapse them down, have them right like so. So collapse those arms down, move this joint up into place, and then we're going to open this piece up and create the hood. Simple stuff. And then we have two tabs in here that are going to tab into here. Tabs, slots, and we're going to make that happen. Like so. Okay, that didn't happen. Let's make that happen. That's not all the way in. This has got to be tight. There it is, nice and tight. Okay, so the front end's done. Simple stuff. I think we have to rotate the waist. And we're going to pull these apart. And we're going to slide this up into position, tab together, and then fold these toes in. That seems strange. Fold this over like so. And then this is going to all fold over and tab in to place. Tab all that in, tab this to this, and get it in its alt mode there. Get it all tabbed together. Set that one aside. Let's do this other guy here. Take his gun off, toss it over there, do the same thing. I guess we can transform the bottom first this time and separate like the untabbing part of the legs, slide this segment up, tab it together down here on the legs. Move the feet like so they can fold over here in a bit, and that's going to happen here in a bit. Do the upper body the same as we did the other one. Fold the head down, collapse both of the arms, make sure they're straight and collapsed. We're going to straighten this out, make sure it's all the way straight. There. Same thing here. Make sure this is straightened out all the way straight. Fold this up front, tab this in. We have the front end, and then I guess I didn't need to rotate it around. And then this comes together like so. That tabs in right here. And simple transformations, easy stuff. It's not rocket surgery. All right, so here they are in their alt mode, and I want to point out that they didn't include gun storage or weapon storage or hue storage for these guys. So that's something that I think most people want, and I don't think it would be hard at all. But maybe it's because you're not going to store it like that when you're in your alt mode or in your combined mode, and they're just going to be legs clipped on there. And I guess these pegs here, these four, some of these holes are where you would combine it in combined mode. So like a hole here or like hole in one of these spots would probably just take away from the look in the combined mode. And that's, I think, 90% of the reason why people want this. So let's look at these one by one here to do some comparisons. And then I'm going to talk about the overall project and what I think of it. So we have some paint on the wheels, which looks nice. Some nice shiny silver paint. You do have the hubcaps right here kind of thing. You can actually see it looks like a pin. The way the pin is pinned, it almost looks like it's an emblem. It's like, oh, look, it's got an emblem. No, it's a pin. You do have that red stripe that carries through. You got the red on all of the windshield and all that kind of stuff. And good thing they didn't try to do transparent or anything. That would have been silly. It's got a great design to it. You do see the headlights painted in there, the tail lights painted in there. Very simplistic. It does look pretty good. It's a nice attempt. I do see some swirling in the plastic, though. But yeah, it's a nice attempt at the alt mode. Looks pretty good. Of course, good job, Magic Square. Looking at the Lamborghini mode, looks pretty good too. It seems like I just keep wanting to push them tighter and they kind of push back apart. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe the orientation and position of the hands makes a difference in that. I don't know, but they look good. And it's important that they look good because they're going to look good in the combined mode. Same situation with the nice silver painted there, and then the blue striping on that, the red paint on the front. Looks good, and I can't wait to get this thing in combined mode now. And we'll probably be waiting a while. I have no idea when the trailer's going to come out. But there they are. Let's look at some comparisons. Here we are compared to the G1, and I do like the brighter white than the milky white, so that'll work for me. And size-wise, boy, I feel like we got cheated back in the 80s, didn't we? Nah, 80s were fun, and we're having even more fun now. But yeah, there's a nice little size comparison, so you can kind of see how big they are, and comparing it to G1. And here they are next to a slew of different comparisons. This is Iron Factory here with the Racing Bros, I think that's what they call them. And then this is New Age. This is the new Magic Square design, which would be Cliff Jumper, all that good stuff. So that gives you kind of an idea of size and scale. Nope, we're not done. Mechanic Studios Blitzwing, it looks pretty good, pretty big. I would think a jet would be bigger than a Lamborghini, and that works for me. I think it looks good, and I think it's fun to keep a lot of these in alt mode, especially since they're actually easy to flip back and forth. All right, so these are some pretty good figures, more or less, for the price. $36 at Show Z. You're getting figures that are, so that's like 17, 18 bucks a figure, under the $20 mark for each one. So I did the math, and I was thinking that you're like $250 in on Magic Square set if you bought Magic Square set. And this one, I think you're going to be about $160 to $170 in if you buy this set separate. But we just don't know what the Motormaster or the trailer is going to be. And I think that Magic Square included combining parts with this, or some sort of parts with this, that we're not getting with this one. So there's that too. So big mystery on how much the trailer is going to be. Hopefully it's not $200 like X-Transbots. But anyhow, I'm hoping to get a relatively affordable combiner, a Minosaur for the shelf, and that's that. Now, will they do the same thing with their Devastator? Will they do the same thing with other things that are going on? Who knows? That's all for the future and all question. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you in on these? Did you already get the Magic Square set? And there's no need for these, obviously. Or were you waiting for something like this to bite on the Magic Square set? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I have a link down below where you can get yours. Titanium Hanger out.